we have discussed the Schmidt trigger circuit, function of the Schmidt trigger circuit. And Schmidt trigger circuit, we have already seen that it has a two trigger point. One is called a LTP and another is known as the UTP. And the difference of these two trigger point is known as a hysteresis voltage. Whenever your input voltage cross the UTP, then the output will change from a plus V saturation to minus V saturation, and whenever the input voltage will cross the LTP, then the output of the comparator will change from minus V saturation to plus V saturation. Today we will see a example based on a inverting Schmidt trigger. So for the following Schmidt trigger circuit, calculate the LTP, UTP and the hysteresis voltage. Correct? So already we have derived the formula for the LTP and UTP. So LTP is given by, or UTP, first of all we will calculate the UTP is given by a plus V saturation into a resistance R2 divided by R1 plus R2. This is the formula for upper trigger point. And in this case, what will be the saturation voltage? The saturation voltage will be normally a 90% of your supply voltage. So here, if you calculate the V saturation, that is a 0.9 into a VCC. So here the VCC voltage in the circuit is given a 15 volt. So my saturation voltage is going to be 13.5 volt. Now it can be a plus V saturation or minus V saturation. So here if you write, then this is plus 13.5 into R2 120 ohm divided by a 120 plus R1 is 51 kilo ohm. And if you calculate this, 51 kilo ohm, and if we calculate this will come out to be a 0.03169 volt. Same way, we can calculate the LTP. So LTP is a minus V saturation into R2 divided by R1 plus R2, and this is minus 13.5 into a 120 divided by a 120 plus 51 kilo ohm, and naturally this will also comes out to be a same magnitude but a negative sign, 0.03169 volt will be there. So what is the hysteresis voltage? It is the difference of the UTP and LTP. So hysteresis voltage H is given by a UTP minus LTP, and we have 0.03169 minus 0.03169, and this will comes out to be a 0.06338, or you can say it is a 63.38 millivolt. Now we will discuss another type of a Schmidt trigger circuit where the LTP and the UTP will be different. Here remember, here we have calculated the magnitude of the UTP and the LTP both are same. So we have a symmetrical hysteresis curve. But in certain application, we require the different value of a LTP and the UTP. Then we have to modify the circuit. Now let us see what is that one. So here we have the circuit with a different UTP and LTP. Here you can see what is the modification. Modification is that we have added a reference voltage with the resistance R2. So due to this, LTP and the UTP will be a different. So now let us calculate what is the LTP and UTP for this non-inverting Schmitt trigger. Okay. Okay. So the LTP and UTP means what? That is a feedback voltage. Here, this feedback voltage Vf, which is providing to a non-inverting terminal, we call this a V plus and we call this as a V minus. So, whenever your output voltage will be either in a plus V saturation, then feedback voltage will be a positive. When it will be in a minus V saturation, feedback voltage will be a negative, and that is called a LTP. Correct? So, here to calculate this feedback voltage, we applied a superposition principle. Because here if you see this network is like this. My voltage at this point is VO, this one is R1, R2, my reference voltage is this, and the junction of this we have a feedback voltage Vf. Now, to calculate the Vf, we have to apply the superposition principle. So, according to the superposition principle, what we have to do? We have two voltage sources, VO and the V reference. So, we have to keep one of the source connected to the ground and we calculate what is the feedback voltage. Then the another voltage source will be connected to the ground and then we have to calculate what is the feedback voltage. And that will give you the summation of these two voltage will give you the Vf1. So first of all, let us say that suppose the V reference is equal to 0 here and the VO is active. Correct? So here if we see, then I have to connect this point to the ground. So here if you measure this voltage, that will give you the Vf1. Remember. And by applying the potential divider rule, we can say that the Vf1 is equal to Vo into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Correct? Now, suppose the VO is equal to 0 and V reference is active. And we calculate what is the feedback voltage. So, Vf2, in this case, we have Vf2, so this will be there, and here, this voltage will be connected to the ground, and at this point, the V reference is there. Okay. So, what is my voltage Vf2? Vf2 voltage is this. So again, you can apply the potential divider rule, and that Vf2 will be equal to a V reference into, now you are taking the voltage across R1. So R1 divided by R1 plus R2. So the feedback according to the superposition principle, that the feedback voltage is Vf1 plus Vf2, and that is given as a Vo into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 plus V reference into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. This is my A feedback voltage. Now using this feedback voltage, we can calculate what will be the LTP and the UTP. Correct? So remember here, whenever we have a UTP, then the output voltage will be in a plus V saturation, and when we have a minus V saturation, you will get a LTP. Correct? So here we can write that for UTP, the output voltage is plus V saturation. So we write it here, and the UTP is equal to, we can say, the V saturation into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 plus V reference into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. So this is a formula for a UTP. And for LTP, the VO will be equal to minus V saturation. So we can write the LTP is equal to minus V saturation into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 plus V reference into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. So these are the important formula for calculating the LTP and UTP. The behavior of the circuit will be like a previous one. Whenever your input voltage cross the UTP, then the output will change from plus V saturation to minus V saturation. And whenever input voltage will cross the LTP, the output voltage will change from a minus V saturation to a plus V saturation. So now let us see an example, and through this example you will come to know how we can have a different value of LTP and UTP when we introduce a reference voltage in the circuit. Say, design a operational Schmitt trigger circuit with the following specification. That is, the UTP is 2 volt. What we require here, we write it that UTP is equal to a 2 volt. LTP is minus 4 volt, and the output voltage swing between plus or minus 10 volt. So that is my V saturation. So V saturation is given at plus or minus 10 volt. And then if the input is 5 sin omega t, plot the waveform of a input and output. So that waveform we will see later on. First of all, we will calculate a value, different value, component value of the Schmitt trigger circuit. Here. Now, what is the formula for a UTP and LTP? Already we have seen in the previous one that the LTP, or if you see a circuit diagram, so to design this comparator, I have to calculate what is the R1, what is R2, and what is my required value of the reference voltage. Correct? So here the UTP is given by plus V saturation into plus V saturation into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 and plus V reference into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. Correct? So my UTP is a 2 volt. 2 equal to plus V saturation is plus 10 volt into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 plus V reference into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. You can call this equation number 1. Now we write the expression for the LTP. LTP is minus V saturation into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 plus V reference into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. Now what is the required value of the LTP? That is minus 4 volt. So minus 4 equal to, by minus V saturation is minus 10 volt into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 plus V reference into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. This is my expression number 2. So, if we solve this equation number 1 and 2, then you will get a value of the reference voltage as well as the R1 and R2. So, now if you take the addition, remember, add the equation 1 and 2, what you will get? The 2 and minus 4, so you will get a minus 2, that will be equal to, here we have plus 10 and minus 10 is there, so this term will be cancelled out, but this term will be there and it will be a 2 V reference divided by into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. Correct? So, here you will get one of the relation, and that is the V reference into a R2 will be cancelled. So, V reference into R1 divided by R1 plus R2 will be equal to minus 1. You can call this as a equation number 3. Now subtract the equation 1 and 2. So here the 2 minus 2 minus 4, so that will be a 6. 6 will be there, and here the plus 10 and minus plus 10 will be a 20 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2, and here the second term will be cancelled out because of the subtraction. So what we will get? R1 plus R2, R1 plus R2 divided by R2 will be equal to 20 by 6, and this is 3.33 will be there. Correct? So we have one more relation. Then now we can substitute this value in a equation number 3, value of this, and you can find out the reference voltage. So let me rub out all this. So from this we have R1 plus R2, that is equal to 3.33 into a R2, and therefore the R1 is equal to 3R2 minus R2, and you will get R1 is equal to 2.33 into R2. Remember. And if we put this value in this equation here, from this we can write that V reference equal to minus R1 plus R2 divided by R1. So this is minus, what is R1? It is 2.33 R2 plus R2 divided by 2.33 R2. So this R2 will be cancelled. Here you have 3.33 divided by 2.33, but negative. But it is negative. And here if you calculate, this will come out to be minus 1.429 volt. Remember, minus 1. So the reference voltage is minus 1.429. And now we can find out the value of R1 and R2. Correct? So suppose let R1 is equal to a 1 kilo. Then, okay, we consider R2 as a 1 kilo ohm. Then R1 will be equal to 2.33 into 1 kilo ohm. So this is 2.33 kilo. So this is the value of a R2 and this is the value of a R1. So here, if we connect R1 equal to 2.33 kilo ohm, R2 is 1 kilo ohm, and the reference voltage, remember, reference voltage is negative. So I have to connect here. I have to change the polarity of this battery, and this will be negative and this will be positive. So this reference voltage is minus 1.429 volt. So here, if we add a reference supply, now the LTP and the UTP both are different. Correct? Now, if the input is 5 sin omega t, then we have to draw a waveform. Remember that my input signal is changing in this way. And here if you see, where is the LTP and UTP? UTP is at 2 volt. Now here my amplitude of the signal is 5 volt, remember. So this one is a plus 5 volt and this one is a minus 5 volt. Where is my one trigger point? That is 2. U2P is 2 volt. So somewhere here we have this line for a 2 volt and that is the UTP. What is the another trigger point? Minus 4 volt. So somewhere here we have this reference line minus 4 volt. It is my LTP. So once you have drawn the line for the LTP and UTP, then you see wherever your input voltage is crossing. So here my input voltage is go on increasing and it crossed the UTP at this point. Then the input voltage is go on decreasing and cross the point LTP at this point. Same way here we have a UTP and somewhere here you will get a LTP. Now you have to draw this waveform. That what will be the output. Now in the previous lecture I already mentioned that whenever your input voltage is increasing and it cross the UTP, then the output will change from a plus V saturation to a minus V saturation. So here if we have a plus V saturation and somewhere here we have minus V saturation, then at this UTP point the output voltage is changing in this manner. Correct? It is decreasing. Now for all this value, remember, for all this value of UTP, the output will remain in a minus V saturation. Now here you can see for all this value, my input voltage is between the UTP and LTP. So due to the hysteresis, that will remain in a previous stage. What is my previous stage? It is minus V saturation. So it will remain in a previous stage. Now here the input voltage is decreasing and crossing the LTP. So the output will change from plus V saturation to minus V saturation. Like this. And for all this value of a LTP, it will remain in a plus V saturation. Again, you can see for all this value where my input voltage is between the LTP and UTP, but due to the hysteresis, the output of the Schmitt trigger will remain in a previous state. What is my previous state? It is a plus V saturation, so it will remain in a previous state. And here it is crossing this UTP, so the output voltage will change from a LTP, from a plus V saturation to a minus V saturation. Now remember, here at this initial point means here this voltage of the input is between the LTP and UTP. Means what will be the output? So you can see at this point it is crossing the plus V saturation to minus V saturation and it is remaining in a previous state, means this is a plus V saturation. So this is the waveform of a comparator, output of the Schmitt trigger circuit. Okay, now we will discuss another type of the Schmitt trigger, that is known as a non-inverting Schmitt trigger. You can see this diagram, that where we apply a input voltage to the non-inverting terminal of the operational amplifier. Basically here, remember, this circuit is like this. If you remember, we have a inverting amplifier. This is a negative, positive. This one is connected to the ground. My input voltage is this. Here we have R2 and R1. So this circuit is our inverting amplifier. Inverting amplifier means what? When the input voltage is positive, output is negative, there will be a 180 degree phase shift. And we have provided a negative feedback from output to the input to a inverting terminal of the operational amplifier. But now here, if we interchange the terminals of the operational amplifier, so here we have a negative and this positive, but here now if I will write a positive and I will write a negative. So the same circuit is there. Then this circuit is known as a non-inverting Schmitt trigger. And when we are changing this polarity, so now there is no longer negative feedback is there. We have a positive feedback. Here at this point, the positive feedback is there, and we know that in a positive feedback, the output voltage will be either in a plus V saturation or it will be in minus V saturation. So remember, here we have a kind of a positive feedback. And it is a Schmitt trigger circuit. So for the Schmitt trigger circuit, we have to find out what is the LTP and the UTP. Correct? So here the LTP and UTP, that depends on how much feedback voltage we have provided at this point. So here we have this voltage, let us say it is a V1, or we can say the feedback voltage Vn. Okay, instead of that I will write it is a V plus, and this voltage is V minus, and it is connected to the ground, so the V minus is always 0. Now this output voltage will be either in a plus V saturation or it will be in a minus V saturation. Correct? So how much input voltage is required to change the state from plus V saturation to minus V saturation, or from minus V saturation to a plus V saturation? Correct? So here we have a feedback voltage, that is the V plus, that the voltage given to a inverting terminal. Now try to understand the circuit. Let's suppose my input voltage is negative. Input voltage is negative. Very large negative voltage is there. Remember, large negative voltage. Then definitely it is given here. It is given to a non-inverting terminal. So the output will be a minus V saturation. My input is negative, so the output will be also a negative, that is the minus V saturation. Now we will increase this voltage, means minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. Then how much voltage I have to apply at the input so that this V plus become a 0 volt. Remember, this feedback voltage will be equal to a 0 volt, and at that time the Schmitt trigger will change the state from minus V saturation to a plus V saturation. So what is the general? That first of all, that suppose the input is a large negative voltage. Input is a large negative voltage. So in that case, the output will be a minus V saturation. And due to that, we have some voltage at this point. Now we increase this voltage. Now increase the input voltage till the V plus become a 0. In this condition, the V out will change from plus V7. It will change from minus V saturation to plus V saturation. Then this input voltage is known as a UTP. Remember. So this input is called a UTP. Later on we will calculate the formula for this. Correct? Okay. Now suppose the output is plus V saturation. Correct? So now we increase or we decrease. Now change the input voltage till the V plus become a 0. And here the output will change from a plus V saturation to minus V saturation. This input is called LTP. Remember, in UTP, whenever the input voltage crossing the input UTP, then the output will change. Output will be changed from a minus V saturation to a plus V saturation. Whenever the input voltage cross the LTP, then the output voltage will change from plus V saturation to minus V saturation. And in both the case, for LTP and UTP, in both the case, my V plus is going to be a 0. Then only the transition will take place. Okay. Now let us see what is the formula for LTP and UTP. So here we have that you can see the circuit is like this. At this point the VO is here. Here we have a VI. This is my R1 and this is R2 and this point is V plus. Now remember, we have a ideal operational amplifier. So in ideal operational amplifier, the input current to the op-amp is 0. So whatever the current is going to be flow, it will be flow in R1 and R2. And therefore we can apply a potential divider rule to calculate the V plus. Now here V plus can be calculated by applying a superposition principle. In the previous case already we have applied the superposition principle and we have calculated the feedback voltage. The same way, one of the input is Vi, another input is Vo, then okay. Now we will calculate what is the V plus. V plus voltage you can calculate by applying a superposition principle, and in a previous example already we have used this, and the same kind of the formula you will get it here. So when you want to write the V plus, then here you have to consider one of the input voltage connected to the ground. Let us say this input voltage VO is connected to ground, and then you calculate the VF. So that will be a VI into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. And then now consider the VA connected to ground and you calculate, you will get a VO into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. Now remember, here in both the case, while finding LTP and UTP, always your V plus is going to be a 0. So this 0 equal to Vi into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 plus VO into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. So here this R1 plus R2 will be cancelled out and we have a Vi equal to minus VO into R1 divided by R2. VO into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. Now from this, we can calculate the LTP and UTP. Correct? So, for UTP, the output voltage is changing from minus V saturation to a plus V saturation. Remember. So we can write here UTP VO is change from minus V saturation to plus V saturation. So the UTP is given as a minus V saturation into minus V saturation, remember, okay, minus into minus V saturation into R1 divided by R2. So UTP is equal to a plus V saturation into R1 by R2. And for LTP, the output is changed from plus V saturation to minus V saturation. So I can write that the LTP is equal to minus into plus V saturation into R1 by R2. So this is equal to minus V saturation into R1 by R2. This is my LTP. This is the LTP. Correct? So here, if you see the transfer characteristics of this non-inverting, okay, here I will write the formula. UTP, we have obtained a minus V saturation into R1 divided by R2, and the LTP we have obtained plus V, this is the plus V saturation, and this one is minus V saturation into R1 by R2. Now, we will see what is the transfer characteristics. Transfer characteristics means we have to plot a graph, a output voltage against the input voltage. Correct? Now output can be a plus V saturation or it can be a minus V saturation. And the triggering is going to be occur at LTP and UTP. So let us say this is my LTP and this is the UTP. Now, already mentioned, when this large negative input voltage is applied, then the output of the Schmitt trigger will be also will be in a minus V saturation. So in that case, here the large input voltage, this is a 0 volt, here 0 volt is there, and we have a negative voltage on this side and the positive voltage on this side. So when the large negative input voltage is there, the output of this Schmitt trigger circuit is in a minus V saturation. Correct? And it will remain in a minus V saturation till the input voltage is crossing the UTP. Here, at this point, it crosses UTP, so the output is changing from a minus V to plus V saturation. Correct? And again, if we increase the input voltage, then it will remain in a plus V saturation. Now, if you decrease the voltage, input voltage, then already you know when it will be when my input voltage is positive, then the output will be in a plus V saturation because it is a non-inverting. So here we have a plus V saturation and it will remain till it cross the LTP. And whenever the LTP will be crossed, the output is changed from a plus V saturation to a minus V saturation. And what is the width of the hysteresis? Here, this one is known as the width of the hysteresis. The hysteresis is given by a difference of this UTP minus a LTP. UTP formula already you can see, it is a plus V saturation into R1 by R2 minus V saturation into R1 by R2. So you will have a 2V saturation into R1 divided by R2. This is the hysteresis voltage for a non-inverting Schmitt trigger circuit. Hysteresis voltage means what? That if my input voltage is changing between these two, between the LTP and UTP, output will remain in a previous stage. Remember. So here you can remember in this way. In this region, remember, in this region, the input voltage is less than LTP. Here we will write input voltage is less than LTP as well as the input voltage is less than UTP. If this condition is satisfied, then the output voltage will be in a minus V saturation. Now, if you are talking about this region where the input voltage is greater than LTP and the input voltage is greater than UTP. So if this is satisfied, then the output voltage will be in a plus V saturation. Correct? And here, between these 2 points, the input voltage is between the LTP and the UTP, then the output will remain in previous state. It will not change the state. Okay? So this is about a non-inverting Schmitt trigger. Now let us see a example. For non-inverting Schmitt trigger, calculate the component value for getting a hysteresis width. So we have a H is equal to a 6 volt. Assume the saturation voltage. So the V saturation is given as plus minus 12 volt. Correct? We have to calculate the R1 and R2. So simple formula is there that hysteresis is given by 2V saturation into R1 divided by R2. So hysteresis is 6, 2, my V saturation is a 12 volt into R1 by R2. Correct? So R1 by R2, this ratio will, or R2 by R1, R2 by R1 will be, comes out to be a 4. Correct? Comes out to be a 4. It means that the R2 is equal to a 4 R1. And here you can assume one of the resistance value and calculate the another one. Simply, if the R1 is equal to 1 kilo ohm, then the R2 will be equal to a 4 into 1 k equal to a 4 kilo ohm. Simple example is that if you know the formula easily, you can solve this problem.